Hello, good morning. It is Tuesday and I'm driving to my chair yoga class, and I thought I would just give you an update on my HRT, which if you did watch my previous video, I did say that I was going to be starting HRT and that I would give a little update. So I'm about 6 weeks in. I'm taking the patches and I've actually found the patches all right. They're really easy to stick on. They don't come off. The only thing that's a little bit annoying about them is that you get that kind of sticky, kind of grubby mark around, and I keep trying to like wipe it off, but then if you wear dark clothing, jeans, you kind of get that sticky mark. It's not too bad with wearing like kind of yoga bottoms or pants. That kind of holds it in place as well, and that they keep it pretty clean. So that's fine. It's really great in the shower. I did have one, I think the second patch I put on, the shower kind of knocked it off. I think maybe I hadn't put it on, like it hadn't stuck maybe all the way. So it came off, and all I did was I just let it kind of dry on the windowsill, and then once it was dry I stuck it back on my leg and it never came off anymore, so it doesn't kind of lose its stickiness. So because that was kind of what I was worried about with the patch, that it would just kind of fall off or whatever, but no, really, really good. The doctor did tell me that I could go swimming with a patch as well, so yeah. So like I say, just that the only kind of drawback is that kind of I don't get it every time. It just depends what I wear, that grubby mark, and you try and get it off. It does make my skin look a little bit like red when I take the patch off. However, there's been no irritation. I've just kind of soothed it with just like moisturizer. I haven't been itchy or anything like that. So so it hasn't been itchy or sore or anything like that. Just the skin was just a little bit red. And then what you do is you change legs. So you kind of have to put it on your midsection, so anything below your belly button on your stomach, or just really high up, just under kind of where your bikini line is, on your inner thigh. So that's where I've been putting it. That's been like the best place for me. However, I think if I went swimming and I wore like a one-piece swimsuit, I would probably put it on my belly. Like if I was going on holiday or something, that's probably where I would put it, just so you can't see it. But yeah, they're see-through anyway. Like, I don't think anybody would really notice it. They would notice it if you have that little kind of sticky mark around it. But other than that, no, they don't. Nobody would notice it at all. So in terms of how I've been getting on with the patch, it's been a little kind of like up and down, but mostly positive. So after the first week, I noticed that my sleeping was just so much better. I tend to wake up quite a lot during the night, and it doesn't really bother me though. I know sometimes some people, when they wake up a lot, it kind of bothers them, and people stress about it, but I tend not to. I'm not somebody that gets out of bed either. If I wake up, I just try and go back to sleep. If I need to, I'll put on like some rain noise or something to try and help me get back to sleep. But most of the time I do go back to sleep, even if I wake up lots of times. And I've noticed that I've just been kind of sleeping through. I might wake up if I need the toilet, like if I need a wee, I will wake up. So that was the first thing I noticed straight away. I've not had any night sweats since I've been on the patches, which is great. And I have had like a little bit of a kind of hotness, like I've got hot in bed and a little bit of a sweat. But my night sweats, when I say night sweats, it's when I was completely like saturated from head to toe, and I literally mean my legs, everything would just get super like sweaty and so disgusting. But anyway, I've not had that at all, so that's brilliant. The fatigue that I was experiencing, which I was finding the most debilitating, I was, yeah, like that was just like flooring me, constantly tired, especially in the afternoon. I've not had any of that. I feel really, really good, especially on a Monday when it's my busiest day on a Monday. I do always feel like obviously physically tired, like my body feels tired at the end of that day, obviously, because I've been teaching yoga all day. However, I've not been like, super fatigued and tired. I normally wake up on a Tuesday and feel like I've got this heaviness on me. No, I'm not really feeling like that. So that's another plus, which is good. Brain fog, I'm still getting a bit of brain fog, or maybe that's just me. I don't know. So yeah, I've still been getting that. The downside, and so I had to read like the instructions like back to front, because I was getting the most excruciating pains in my stomach, like cramps. Now, I've never been somebody that has I have experienced period pain, but if I did get it, it would be like hardly ever. Like I could never say that I was somebody that suffered with bad period pains. Never really happened to me. And this was excruciating. Now, this was on about week 5. Just coming out at the end of week 4 into week 5, and I was just getting the most excruciating pains, and it was for literally 2 days, and it was kind of coming in waves, like really bad, then it would go off a little bit, then it would come back and then go off a little bit. And I had I would say a really not heavy bleed, but I had a bleed for well over a week. I would say it was about 8-9 days, and it was just really red. So yeah, but I read that is called your withdrawal bleed. So that's to do with the progesterone. I can never say that word, but that it's to do with that, and the thickening or the thinning of the lining of the womb. So yeah, that's what that is. And when you take your second patch of the week, that's the progesterone, or the second. I don't know. I need to check that. Or is it the second half of your box? I'm not sure. Anyway, so yeah, that's been the only downside. But hopefully that stops kind of after a few months. But we'll see, and I will keep you posted. But overall, I would say that HRT is going good so far.